On Tuesday, April 23rd, we received a report that a young mother and her daughter are missing. We now believe that we're investigating a double homicide.
I had no issues with them at all.
But isn't it hard to believe that somebody would kill them?
It's crazy. Of course it is.
But you're saying that is not you.
Of course not. Of course not.
He said that while the police had been searching his home and his car, he had just been, casually hanging out at bars, which you can tell by the way that he was talking, in my opinion too, that he had been drinking. According to Robert, that had been his life for the past 3 days. And on May 5th, 2 undercover officers approached Robert on the street near his home. When they did, they said, "You're the dude from the news. You're like a rock star. Oh my gosh, nice to meet you." And Robert replied with, "Hardly. There's nothing good about my effing life right now, I'll tell you that much." Well, the officers just kept sort of praising him, giving him this ego boost. And a few times during this conversation, Robert asked them, "Hey, are you guys cops? Are you just trying to trick me?" But they assured him that they weren't. And eventually, Robert started opening up. He just flat out confessed. Just confessed to these 2 men that he just met a few hours earlier. Now, he didn't exactly say how he killed Jasmine or her daughter, but he did tell them that after killing the 2 of them, he used his phone to look at what remote areas were nearby. He hid them, and then he drenched them in gasoline. He didn't burn their bodies, but he did hope that the gasoline would throw off any cadaver dogs from finding them. Obviously, all of this information was enough for the police to immediately arrest Robert. Eventually, the police department confirmed with DNA evidence that the bodies were Jasmine and her daughter. Jasmine had multiple blunt force head injuries and also a bullet wound on the left side of her head behind her ear. Elia also had multiple blunt force injuries to her head, 1 on each side. She also had 1 on the back. And she also had a spinal injury. Both of their deaths were ruled as homicide.